Hey there and welcome to my Game of Thrones Series 5 Episode 10 discussion and review. Basically, I'm going to talk and try to review to the best of my abilities the events that came over, and then afterwards, once you've listened to it, you can then rant in the comment section, or we can simply discuss it, what we liked, what we didn't like. But bear in mind, I'm not a professional reviewer. I'm barely a professional YouTuber. I will miss things. I would have not picked up on everything. But that's why it's a discussion. If I miss over something, I forget to discuss something. I mean, I watched it 20 minutes ago. There's already so many things I've already forgotten. But yeah, that's what discussion's for. But first up, we have the Battle of Winterfell. Also, I'd like to apologise for my lack of being able to correctly put in extra pictures to make my video know what's going on. But yes, the Battle of Winterfell. What a load of well, that's poorly done, really. I mean, it just marched up, then they came out with loads of horses and stuff happened. They could have at least shown it off a bit more, maybe had a bit of fighting. I mean, somehow Stannis went from being at the front in the middle of a big snowy field, being charged by horses, to in a forest. Okay, so he somehow got into the forest. The king got into the forest unguarded when apparently everybody around him was dead. And then a couple of people turn out of nowhere and he does them over because he is a good, strong guy. But it's stuff like that. It's like you came on, even with Ramsay. Ramsay comes on, he's surrounded by dead bodies. It's just him there and some guy on a horse. You know, that's not going to happen. Is that purely something just to try and make him look super duper cool for watchers or something? Because he is super duper cool. Even if he is a maniac, mental in the head, he's still kind of cool. Why do they have to have him in the middle of nowhere surrounded by dead bodies as if he's just single-handedly killed, what was it, 100 people laying around him while his mate just sits on a horse watching? Did that happen? Is that what they're trying to make me believe? Or was there a fight and all these people died and they just kept on marching and fighting in the other direction? Then Ramsay comes along and just clears up the dead bodies. Is that his job? Just, you know, it was a bit kind of rubbishy. But yeah, this happened. Like I said, the king, the supposed king, he said half of his forces deserted, so he's got 3,000 men at his back. But apparently he somehow finds himself in the middle of a forest, all by himself. But yes, it sort of implies that Brienne of Tarth is killing him, but do we see him die on screen? No. But you know what that means? It means Stannis might have a trick card to pull out. I don't know what, they haven't gone through this far in the books, but yeah, usually George says if you don't see anybody die on screen, whatever. But if that was his actual death, then that was shit. The show writers, directors, that was shit. What are you doing? This is perhaps one of the most important characters over the past 5 years of watching this show, and you can't even do anything properly. It's just, it was just, if that's an actual death, that is shit. If it's leading on to him secretly being alive, it is still shit. That was shit. And that is my review of that. But then, let me just get rid of these. And that, then you get to see Theon snap out of it. Something we've been wanting to see happen. Theon snaps out of it. He gets Sansa. They jump off the wall, hopefully into a big pile of snow, and they're going to run off. Where are they going to go? I have no idea, because they can't exactly go to Stannis. Where isn't Theon supposed to go to Stannis? Unless there is a Stannis. And instead of going to him, they go to Brienne, who just so happens to have Stannis. I don't know. Either way, it's a shame to see the Miranda actress kicked out. She was, in my opinion, the most attractive woman on the show. So it's a shame. I'll have to go with Bronn on this one. And start supporting, is it Nyme or Tyne? Whatever one it is, they mixed up all the names, didn't they, with Sand Snakes? Except for Obara. But isn't Obara meant to be black? I don't know, it's all confusing. I haven't really been paying attention to Sand Snakes, but yeah, I'll have to go with that. Next up, Dawn. Everybody pretends to be best friends, of course. Which, you know, was a ploy. But then they get into the boat, they have this nice little chat. Turns out he sort of thinks Tristane's a nice bloke. And then Myrcella comes out and says she knew about her actual parentage and isn't really ashamed about it at all. I mean, if I knew my parents were twins, I mean, neither of my parents has a twin, but if I had found out something like that, I mean, I look like none of my mother's brothers. I look very much like my father did. But if I did find out something like that, I would not be just embracing my uncle as then my dad like that. I'd be a bit weirded by it, but she says she's always sort of known, so maybe that's why. But yeah, turns out she has a bloody nose. We don't see if she actually dies, just like Stan the Man. Does she actually die? I don't know. I can imagine it going into episode 1 of series 6, and Tristane somehow comes into the room or something and end up saving her. Maybe Tristane knows a trick, being Dornish. He knows something about poison. He can save her. And then something from there unravels. I don't know. I mean, series 6 is something entirely new. But I can imagine that. I mean, isn't all of Cersei's children supposed to die? But then Tristane is Dornish. Maybe he saves her. I don't know. We'll soon find out in 10 months. But yeah, as for Dorne, not really much happened. Just that, really. Bronn had his little goodbye to his lover, but whatever. Next up, we have Meereen. Now, it is apparent to these three guys talking, that Daenerys has left and they need to go find her. Somehow they got out of the arena where there was still quite a few Sons of the Harpy. There was only about, less than 10 Unsullied, and then there was these lot. Just outnumbered, and they somehow managed to get out without any injuries or whatever, which was, I suppose, cool. I mean, they are superheroes, super duper heroes, probably to the level that they could have maybe saved her without a dragon's intervention, but of course they couldn't, but somehow they got out anyway. But maybe the other guys, maybe the Harpy geezers just run off after seeing a dragon because they were scared of the dragon, but that didn't stop them from standing there and fighting it anyway. But, whatever. And then we get to see Grey Worm. He's alive. Good. Haven't seen him for a few episodes. He is a sort of interesting character when he's not having a love story, when he has no genitalia, but whatever. He's strong. Looks like he's going to lead the armies of the Unsullied and keep the peace in the town while good old Tyrion rules. Because Tyrion can rule. He's a brilliant guy. But that's not why I have these two portraits up here right now. The reason these portraits are up is because they are starting a boy band. But they don't want to be a boy band, they want a third member, so they're going after this lady in between them. They both love them. Jorah is jealous, so maybe something will happen between him and Dario/Benjen, who's apparently also been found. I don't know. Of course, it's all uncharted territory, but I am happy she did at least find a Dothraki Khalasar. In the advert, when I saw there was hills and mountains, it looked really un-Khalasari sort of land. But hey, she got down the mountain, left her dragon behind for some reason, and then just appeared to have got captured. Which, we'll see what happens with that. Should be fun. Maybe these two fellas will somehow rescue her. I don't know. But yeah, her dragon could sense her under attack before. It couldn't sense it this time. Come down, scare off all these spear, or what they called, scythe, scimitar, blade, whatever they called them things. Couldn't scare them all off. But yeah, Jorah did mention in one of the history videos, the special features of one of the series, I can't remember, it might be in series 3, that he did see a Dothraki with a Valyrian steel, whatever weapon it is. Maybe we'll see that guy. That'll be interesting next season. I mean, Valyrian steel weapons are sort of cool. We've only seen 2/3 because 1 became 2. Have we seen the others? No, don't think we have. Have we? I can't think of it off the mind. But yeah, that's these lots. Next up is For the Watch. Well, at least the Night's Watch. So yeah, Sam is actually going off to Old Town, which is something very, very good. We go off to see Old Town. Maybe he'll see his father and his brother, seeing as it appears they are being casted for next season. There was in the cast notes, they said for a fathery kind of guy and a son who's a sort of soldiery kind of guy. So he might get to see his family. I think that'd be interesting, seeing him and his father. But now that he's a stronger man and whatever. But yeah, get to see Davos. He somehow, it just seems like he's only just started talking to Jon. I don't know, he's just only started there, but then 5 minutes later, Mel is somehow behind him. Which, I don't know, but yeah, Mel is at Castle Black. A red priestess is at Castle Black. A woman with blood magic and all this skill and stuff is at Castle Black. Remember Forest of Myr and Beric Dondarrion, them two very good, interesting characters who were cut. Remember what happened between them two? And Melisandre actually went and saw them, so she ties into the plot line of doing what Forest of Myr did to Beric Dondarrion. So yes, on that note, Jon died. He got footer watched, which it was a bit, I mean, it would have been brilliant to watch if I knew it, if I didn't know it was coming, but I sort of did. And yeah, it's sort of, I mean, I got excited for a second when they said, Benjen has actually been mentioned. Maybe he'll come out as a White Walker next season, White Walker or White or whatever. That'd be fun. But sort of, yeah, he fell over, and they sort of cut the episode at that. I would have thought I was watching another YouTuber. It might have been, was it Red Team Review? It's usually Red Team Review I watch. I mean, the other YouTubers, I think, when it comes to like these online writers and bloggers and YouTubers, they're usually, well, how do I put this? They're usually, well, they either just suck up to the TV show, everything's great, just they agree with everything in order to, of course, apply themselves to the public opinion and get bigger and that. But it's not just that. With the other guys, they are really inconsiderate arseholes. Like, an hour after the show's come out, they're uploading their shitty videos that haven't really had that much thought put into it. They're just like, yeah, this is awesome, that's awesome. And they use a very spoilerish image as their thumbnail. It happened after episode 8. Within episode 8, within a couple of hours, of course you got all the HBO releasing their videos, which are all spoilers, which is kind of stupid by them knowing that their show airs at 2 AM in the UK. And yeah, people have got to work. Maybe they go to YouTube during their work. They're going to see that. It's all spoilerish. It's very inconsiderate of them. It's not a very well thought out business plan. And then these other YouTubers just doing that straight away, trying to catch on it and get as much views as possible without having any consideration for the other people around. It is just a very shitty tactic of getting views. Now that is my honest opinion. They do that. It was the same with this one. After I watched the video, because I've been avoiding YouTube all day apart from my phone when I went on a couple of things, deleted a load of your comments because they seemed spoilerish, and I don't want other people in my comment section to get spoiled. I mean, I'm not going to read it. Somebody else might scroll down and see what's going on in the comment section, and then they read stuff which I don't know what it was. I didn't actually read it. There was quite a few messages that I deleted, over 5, loads. Some of them had discussions on as well. But yeah, spoilers are bad, and all these YouTubers just putting out their stuff with their thumbnail with like this particular image. I saw one guy, another one had Jon in the other position. It's just stupid. Just don't do stuff like that. The other one is these writers and bloggers who put in their title, like straight after it's aired, Jon dead, Stannis defeated, as like their news, as their headline. It's just, if somebody's trying to like do stuff in their daily life and they recently searched Game of Thrones or something related, that's going to come up as their like suggested thing, and that's a spoiler. That is stupid. That should be banned. When I become the rightful king of the internet, that stuff will be banned and I will burn you. But yeah, after that detour, let's round up. So the Stannis stuff was sort of like the way they did stuff wasn't really, if he is actually dead, that was a very crappy way of doing it. If he's alive, then that was also a crappy way of doing it. The stuff they did not make sense, having one guy surrounded by hundreds of dead. It was just ridiculous. Yes. But yeah, the other stuff, I mean, sort of, well, there's lazy writing in the show, but it was better than that. And the Jon thing, of course. If you're worried about Jon, don't be worried. There is a Red Priestess who can revive people at the wall now, because she deserted Stannis because she knew she was next. But anyway, I've probably missed out a lot of things here. There's probably one whole big chunk I've missed out, but yeah. Oh yes, that's what I missed out. Cersei's Walk of Shame. That was funny, but don't get your hopes up. That was a body double. But yes, Robert Strong, Clegane Bowl hype. They could have like made it less obvious. There was a dead head behind the mask, but yeah, that is cool seeing how massive he was, and it was just like straight after that scene, it was just hype. But yeah, let's get rid of that image. It's saddening. So yeah, let's have a discussion. Hopefully some good things will happen. Hopefully I'll be able to edit this so it doesn't look completely pathetic in my editing skills. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the comment section. Goodbye.